Napoleon Bonaparte was one of the most amazing men in history. He literally wrote his name in golden letters. His deeds still inspire many people around the world. From humble beginnings as an artillery officer to becoming the first emperor of France, Napoleon's rise to power is nothing short of extraordinary. But how did this Corsican outsider manage to conquer not only France but much of Europe? And how did he change the world forever? Let's dive into the amazing life story of Napoleon Bonaparte. Napoleon Bonaparte was born on August 15, 1769 on the island of Corsica. At the time, Corsica was a recently acquired province of France, but Napoleon identified more with his native Italian culture than with his French rulers. Despite his family's modest means, young Napoleon showed early signs of greatness, excelling in school and displaying a voracious appetite for knowledge. His thirst for learning led him to the prestigious military academy at Brienne, where he honed his skills and rose through the ranks. At just 23, he became an artillery officer and was posted to the French city of Nice, where he met Josephine de Beauharnais, the woman who would become his wife and share his triumphs and tragedies. As the French Revolution erupted, Napoleon saw an opportunity to advance his career. He distinguished himself during the revolution by taking a decisive stand against royalist rebels in the streets of Paris. This act of bravery propelled him into the spotlight and set him on a path to greater things. Napoleon's military prowess was evident in his victories in Italy and Egypt. In Egypt, he led successful campaigns against the Ottoman Empire and gained valuable experience in strategy and tactics. However, his absence from France during the crucial period of the revolution led to criticism and accusations of disloyalty. Undeterred, he returned to France in 1799 and staged a coup d'etat, establishing the consulate with himself as first consul, effectively ending the turbulent era of the French Revolution and setting the stage for his rise to emperor. By 1804, Napoleon's power was consolidated and he crowned himself Emperor of the French, marking a new chapter in France's history. The Napoleonic Wars that followed saw him conquer much of Europe, but also led to his ultimate downfall. Defeated and exiled, Napoleon spent his final years in exile on the remote island of Santa Elena near St. Petersburg, where he died on May 5, 1821. His body was returned to France in 1840 and laid to rest in a golden tomb at Les Invalides, a fitting resting place for one of history's most enigmatic figures. Napoleon's adventures are stuff of legend. One of the most audacious was his daring escape from Elba in 1815. When news reached him that the Allies were planning to invade France, Napoleon decided to take matters into his own hands. Knowing that his enemies would never allow him to return to France, he seized the opportunity presented by a British warship's visit to the island and escaped in disguise. Accompanied by only a few trusted aides, he embarked on a perilous journey across the Mediterranean Sea in a small boat, evading patrols and battling rough waters. Their vessel, the Inconstant, was old and leaky, but Napoleon remained steadfast, refusing to abandon his mission. After 5 days at sea, they finally reached the French coast near Marseille, where Napoleon wasted no time in making his way to Paris. With an army at his command, he swiftly moved to crush any opposition and secure his return to power. Once in Paris, he wasted no time in reasserting his authority, re-establishing the Napoleonic regime and rallying his supporters. However, his second reign lasted only 100 days, culminating in his defeat at the Battle of Waterloo and eventual exile to St. Helena. Napoleon's escape from Elba was not only a remarkable feat of endurance and cunning, but a testament to his unwavering determination in the face of adversity. Napoleon Bonaparte's life was one of incredible highs and devastating lows. Despite being born into relative poverty on the island of Corsica, Napoleon managed to rise to the heights of power, becoming the first emperor of France. His story is one of resilience, determination, and sheer brilliance. Napoleon's journey began at a young age when he exhibited exceptional academic abilities, particularly in mathematics and science. Recognizing his potential, his family made the ultimate sacrifice, sending him to mainland France to pursue higher education at the prestigious military academy of Brienne. It was here that Napoleon truly blossomed, excelling in his studies and developing a deep passion for military strategy and tactics. Upon graduation, he was commissioned as an artillery officer and assigned to various postings throughout France. Although these assignments were often seen as minor and insignificant, Napoleon refused to be deterred. He threw himself into his duties, quickly gaining recognition for his competence and efficiency. His dedication did not go unnoticed, and he was soon promoted to the rank of captain, marking an important step in his military career. As Napoleon continued to climb the ranks of the French military, his reputation as a brilliant tactician grew. He was given command of artillery forces in various regions, where he successfully defended key positions against invading armies. These victories not only solidified his status as a military hero, but also brought him into the public eye, garnering him both fame and recognition. It was during these early years that Napoleon developed the strategies and leadership skills that would later propel him to the throne of France. He studied the works of renowned military thinkers such as the Italian Renaissance general Niccolo Machiavelli and the 17th century French writer and military engineer Jean-Philippe de Chastillon. By immersing himself in military literature and constantly analyzing battle tactics, Napoleon honed his strategic thinking and developed a unique approach to warfare that emphasized speed, surprise, and overwhelming force. He also cultivated a network of influential allies who supported his political ambitions. Through strategic marriages such as the union of his brother Lucien to the wealthy and well-connected Creole de Beauharnais, Napoleon secured his financial stability and forged alliances with prominent families across France. These strategic moves not only helped him gain favor at court, but also provided him with the resources and connections necessary to launch his bid for power. By carefully managing his resources and cultivating key alliances, Napoleon was able to lay the foundation for his eventual rise to prominence. He saved money from his meager salary as an artillery officer and invested it wisely, eventually purchasing a modest estate in the countryside. This property not only served as a symbol of his growing wealth, but also as a base of operations for his future campaigns. From this rural retreat, Napoleon began to formulate his plans for seizing power and transforming France. Despite facing numerous obstacles and setbacks, Napoleon's determination and strategic brilliance never wavered. He remained focused on his goal of becoming the dominant force in French politics and was willing to make any necessary sacrifices to achieve that end. Napoleon's downfall began with his decision to invade Russia in 1812. Despite the warnings of his advisors, Napoleon led his Grande Armée on a disastrous campaign that resulted in hundreds of thousands of casualties. The following year, he faced a coalition of European powers at the Battle of Leipzig and was forced to flee. After a brief respite, Napoleon returned to power in 1815, but his second reign lasted only 100 days before he was defeated at the Battle of Waterloo. Captured and exiled to the remote island of St. Helena in the Atlantic Ocean, Napoleon spent his final years writing his memoirs and reflecting on his life. On May 5th, 1821, he died at age 51, possibly from stomach cancer, although some believe he was poisoned. His remains were returned to France in 1840 and buried in a grand tomb at Les Invalides, a fitting resting place for one of history's most famous and controversial figures. Napoleon isn't as well known for his personal life as for his military campaigns. Here are some interesting facts about his childhood. Napoleon was born out of wedlock. His father, Carlo, was a minor nobleman, while his mother, Maria, was a member of a local merchant family. Napoleon was the second of 8 children. When he was 9 years old, his family moved to a larger house in Ajaccio, the capital of Corsica. There he attended a private school run by the Christian Brothers. Napoleon excelled in his studies, particularly in mathematics and science, and was known for his sharp intellect and inquisitive nature. At age 10, he entered the prestigious military preparatory school at Brienne. However, he struggled to fit in and was often bullied by his classmates. Despite the challenges he faced, Napoleon persevered and graduated from Bru as the top of his class. He went on to attend the École Militaire in Paris, where he honed his military skills and developed his strategic thinking. During his time at school, Napoleon developed a strong sense of patriotism and a deep love for his native Corsica. He was particularly influenced by the writings of Enlightenment thinkers such as Jean-Jacques Rousseau, who celebrated the ideals of liberty, equality, and democracy. These ideas would shape Napoleon's political philosophy and inform his later reforms in France. There's a lot we can learn from Napoleon Bonaparte, one of the most famous and influential figures in world history. Whether you admire him or loathe him, there's no denying that Napoleon was a brilliant strategist, a charismatic leader, and a man who left an indelible mark on Europe and the world. So what can we learn from this complex and controversial figure? Here are just a few of the lessons Napoleon has to teach us. Lesson 1. Be prepared. Napoleon was a master planner, and he understood the importance of being prepared for any situation. He took the time to study his opponents, assess their strengths and weaknesses, and develop strategies to exploit any vulnerabilities. This attention to detail and strategic thinking allowed him to achieve many victories on the battlefield and maintain control over his empire for so long. We can learn from Napoleon by planning ahead, anticipating potential problems, and developing solutions before they arise. Whether we're dealing with a major project at work or a simple everyday task, taking the time to prepare will set us up for success. Lesson 2. Be charismatic and inspiring. Napoleon was a natural leader, and he knew how to inspire those around him to follow his vision. He was charismatic and passionate, and he had a way of making people believe in his mission, even when the odds were stacked against him. This ability to inspire loyalty and commitment from his followers enabled Napoleon to build a powerful army and sustain his rule despite constant opposition. We can learn from Napoleon by working on our charisma and leadership skills. By becoming more confident and articulate, we can inspire others to follow our lead and achieve our common goals. Lesson number 3. Be adaptable. Napoleon was a flexible thinker, and he was able to adapt his strategies and tactics as needed. He was unafraid to change course and try something new if he felt it would increase his chances of success. This adaptability allowed him to overcome obstacles and achieve victories that might have seemed impossible under different circumstances. We can learn from Napoleon by being open to new ideas and not being afraid to change course when necessary. Whether we're facing a setback in our personal lives or a challenge at work, being adaptable will help us find creative solutions and bounce back from adversity. Lesson number 4, don't be arrogant. One of Napoleon's biggest mistakes was his arrogance. He often underestimated his opponents and failed to anticipate their actions. This led to several of his defeats, including his invasion of Russia and his final battle at Waterloo. We can learn from Napoleon by staying humble and never underestimating our opponents. No matter how confident we may be in our own abilities, there's always something more to learn from those around us. Lesson 5. Be remembered. Napoleon knew the importance of legacy, and he worked hard to ensure that his name would be remembered long after he was gone. He implemented sweeping reforms in France, such as the Napoleonic Code, which standardized laws and administration across the country. He also launched a series of military campaigns that expanded French territory and spread the ideals of the French Revolution across Europe. By leaving a lasting impact on the world around him, Napoleon ensured that his name would be remembered for centuries to come. We can learn from Napoleon by striving to leave a positive impact on the world. Whether we're working to improve our communities or making small gestures of kindness in our everyday lives, the little things we do can have a lasting impact on those around us and contribute to our own legacy. So there you have it, 6 lessons from the extraordinary life of Napoleon Bonaparte. Whether you view him as a hero or a villain, there's no denying that Napoleon was a complex and fascinating individual who left an indelible mark on history. By studying his life and the decisions he made, we can gain valuable insights into the human condition and the forces that shape our world. So next time you're looking for inspiration or guidance, look no further than the legendary Napoleon Bonaparte. Thank you for watching.